How's it going, internet? I hope you're having a lovely day today. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation. It's time to get those creative hats on. Time to get that imagination supercharged, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from a new illustrator that I came across recently online, and his name is Tom Robinson. He's also an animator as well. He works at PicPoc, and from what I can tell, he does a lot of iPhone and Android app animation stuff, but he's an amazing illustrator. I've been poring over his stuff over the last couple of days, and I wanted to share it with you guys too. This one's going to be a little bit different than our usual kind of inspirational moment in the beginning of our videos, just because he hasn't really done a lot of interviews or anything that I could find for that, but I did find a cool little quote from his Twitter that I wanted to share with you guys, and that was, "Fall off the wagon a bit there, but I'm back." And I think that's a great attitude to have as any sort of creator, is that you got to know that some days you're going to have off days, but you got to keep going, keep focusing. And anyways, I just wanted to share a couple of his illustrations from his Tumblr, and I will link all of that stuff in the description below for you guys to check out as well. But just check out how great these illustrations are. Let me find one of the ones that I was really liking here. Stuff like this. I just think it's great. You can tell it's very, like there's some solid drawing behind it and very whimsical and everything too. I just really like his sensibilities, you know, breaking a lot of rules, but then having stuff that you can definitely, you know, find commonality to and everything too. And a great sense of color, and really just fun creatures that you can build with too. So definitely check him out. Like I said, I will link to a bunch of his stuff down below, to his website and his Tumblr as well. Like this guy, I love this guy, very cool. Really over exaggerated stuff, but really fun, like a great smile and really strong lines and great sense of color and everything in there too. Alright, so that being said, let's go ahead and look at what we're going to be playing around with in our animation today. This is the T.Rex 2 rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at Creative Crash, and I will link to it in the description down below as well. And don't forget, if you guys do an animation with this rig, to definitely share it back so I can see all the wonderful stuff you guys are creating. And if you're not familiar with this series, what we'll be doing for the rest of the video is we give ourselves 48 frames, 2 seconds of animation, and I've never used this rig before, so that'll add some interesting things there, and we'll see what we come up with. We'll have a little bit of over the shoulder, just kind of hang out while we animate, so you have someone that you feel like is in those trenches with you in creating every day, and a little bit of instruction, and hopefully at the end of the video you'll either have learned something or at least get inspired to go create something on your own. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started here. First thing I like to do is create a base here, and let's just create polygon primitives cube, and just so we have something to start our shot off with. And we'll turn the grid off there, and let's turn everything off except for our NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and our polygons. That way we're not going to key anything we don't want to. And let's go ahead and save our scene here. Remember, it's always good to save multiple versions and to save often, just in case any sort of little screw-ups or anything. You can always revert to an earlier copy of your shot. On shots that I really spend a lot of time with, not just like an hour like kind of these videos, but ones that I spend a couple of weeks or anything. I definitely have for myself, how I do it is I do like this is version 1, and then version 1A, version 1B, version 1C, and then go down until however many versions it takes until I really like it. So that being said, let's go ahead and just call this T.Rex 2 lock, and save that. Like I said, we are using Maya 2014, which I'll have a link to in the description below if you're not familiar with the program. So what would be fun to do with this one? Maybe we could rotate it down. Do something like that. What would be something different that we can do? And let's grab all of these and move them kind of together as a unit. I think I might move this a little bit different than I normally would. Lift it up there. Rotate it down more a little bit. Break that tail just a little bit. Normally I would say use it all as a single the same, but I kind of want to play something a little bit different. I always like to try animating something and pushing animation a little bit further than I have before. So it's definitely down a little more, because that's not how a typical T-Rex would move. But that's what makes animation fun. You can always push stuff, because otherwise, I mean, now typically we wouldn't have a T-Rex that you could just film and put that up just on regular film. So we don't necessarily with this rig, just by the fact that it's a Tyrannosaurus Rex to start with. It's definitely giving us something different that we couldn't see in real life. But everybody's seen the T-Rex move in the typical big stomps and everything like that. So we want to try and do something different with it, just so we're not repeating the same thing, get a little creative in there. So we'll see what we can come up with. What should we do with these arms? Maybe we could lift them up. Pull it out at least. That's pretty good. Got that nice line of action throughout. Probably tilt the head a little more up. And I'll just pull the hips down a little bit more. So get that nice line going all the way through there. Feels like a pretty good pose to start off with. Maybe we could even rotate the hands out a little bit more. I'm not quite sure how we're going to approach the hands yet. What we're going to do to make those fun, but we'll figure something out. So again, let's go ahead and save our file. Just Control S again, and let's go ahead and grab everything. Again, make sure that you just have NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons selected, so you're not keying any of the geometry. We'll go ahead and set our frame range from 0 to 48. So that's what we'll be working with, is 2 seconds here. And select everything, go frame 0, and hit S on the keyboard, and we'll set our first key. And now let's build in the foundation for the walk, which is going to be the feet and the hips. And let's keep it on 12, so right now I don't know that I really want to switch up the timing too much. And pull the hips forward there. Okay, let's grab the other foot and set that there. Go to 24, drag it forward, and the hips forward again. And again, we're just doing the foundational stuff. Once you have the feet and the hips working, that's a big portion of what you need for your walk. So it's definitely one of the first things you want to nail in and get that set up. Helps you decide kind of where you want to go with your timing and everything as well. Normally about 12 to 14 frames is about average typical speed for a walk. Definitely refer to the, I think the Richard Williams Animator's Survival Kit, which I always link down below, that along with Illusion of Life, Drawn to Life, and what's that one I was thinking too? Like Character Animation Crash Course by the guy who did the genie. Why can't I think of his name? Oh, it's gonna bug me. What's it over there? Eric Goldberg. Thank you. Phenomenal animator. One of my favorites. But definitely all of those are great resources if you're just starting out again. And thanks again for all of the new subscribers. Happy to have you along. I hope that you guys enjoy this stuff. And let's go ahead and do a little up and down on the hips. Gonna add some weight, but I think I might switch that up to down on the passing position instead. Let's see. Let's grab the translate Y's then. Let's just even them out here just to start with. It doesn't have to be exactly even, but we just want to get a good average feel so it doesn't feel like one step's really high and one step's really low. And let's go ahead and look at how we're looking now. Okay, we definitely want to pick those feet up now. So again, we're just going to go back in. We're just going to nail and lock in our keys again. We're just going to select all the places that we have so far and just hit S again on the keyboard just to make sure those keys are going to stay where they are. And let's go ahead and get those feet up. And we'll go left it up again and back down. Okay, and we'll go to the other foot. And again, we're just going to lock in those keys we already have so we don't lose those. And just hit S on the keyboard there. And let's go ahead and get those passing positions started up here. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and drag the feet back here. Give us a controller for just the individual toes. I feel like that's kind of a miss there. Not have a toe controller. Ah, good. Okay. There it is. Great. Okay, and since we do have a toe controller, let's go ahead and build those in. We're just going to go ahead and lock in again where we had them before. And let's go ahead and drag the toes here. So let's take inner toe, and drag that back. Lift it up, plant it down. And again, we'll definitely vary this a lot, but we'll just get it set for right now. It's okay to start off with. We'll definitely get in there and tweak everything, but I want to do some more on the hips before we get too locked into these feet here. And we'll just drag that foot back again. I think the steps might be too high. And then let's go ahead and go back into the toes here. And again, we're just going to key in our main keys to start with, so we can always revert back to what they were there. And we'll go ahead and drag everything there, lift it up, and plant it down. And again, let's go ahead and drag everything here. Up, and plant it down. Okay, starting to get there. Now let's look at the hips here. We're going to want to tilt them to favor the planted foot there, and over here as well, and over there, and back again. I'll zero it out again, and let's go ahead and look at our graph editor here and make sure that those are pretty uniform, so we're not favoring the left side or the right side, but we're getting a good balance in between. Just toning it down just a little bit there as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and launch that. It's feeling pretty good. And let's go ahead and do a little bit of rotate Z here. So we're actually doing a little bit of rotation to favor the planted foot as well. I think this might be too much, so I'll definitely tone that down as well. And I'm just going to tone that down and make sure that one side isn't getting favored over the other. favor the front planted foot, so we're going to do a little bit of rotate Y here. So the hips favor, so there's a little bit of angling so that the front foot is allowed by the hips. Back again, and there again. And then we'll definitely do some rotation in the chest there as well, to kind of offset what we've done with the hips. So let's go ahead and get this locked in, and then we'll get onto the chest. Okay, and again, let's go ahead and look at this guy. Let's do a little bit of side to side here. What we do here is do a good job of making sure we're just doing the translate X, which is what I wanted to build up with right now. So we're going to have to go back into the Y and Z. We allowed those to get keyed. So we'll just make sure we delete those because we didn't want to do that just yet. And then we're going to do a little bit of rotate Z here and rotate Z there. I'm just kind of offsetting what the hips are doing. Chest here. And zero that again. And it's not totally there yet, so we're just gonna have to do some tweaking with this, but I think we're building in the right direction. And let's clean that up here. Let's do a little rotate Y. Let's see. I think there's a little too much going on here. Just want to tone it down. So definitely take the translation down, and we'll scale back the rotations as well. Now it feels like it's not moving because of the legs. It feels like it's moving on its own, and we don't want that kind of a feel. We want to feel like it's moving because of the movement on the arms and the reaction to the movement of the legs. Let's go ahead and look at that now. Maybe I'll do a little bit up and down here as well. So that goes up. So we go down. Probably too much, so I might scale it back, so we'll see. Actually, let's go ahead and get rid of that right now. Let's see, do we have a translate up on the head? Yeah. Let's go up on the head, and down on the head, on the head, and down on the head, up, down. Let's definitely scale that back a lot. So we totally made that a focal point instead of just feeling like it's part of it. And that's one thing you have to choose with your animation. If you want to tone something way up, it's going to become the focus of your animation. If you want it to just feel like it's blending in, then you got to tone it down more too. So it's a little better. And then what we're going to do with this guy instead is do 3, down on 1. Maybe we'll just get rid of the translators. Maybe we'll do rotate X then. chested. Too much, but I think we're starting to get where we want to go with that. So we get that little bit of recoil and bounce since they're not hitting all at the same time. You'll have the hips hit, and then the hips and the head hit in the same frame, and then this chest will hit in between, and that'll add that little bit of kind of recoil there. Let's do a little bit of tilt on the head as well. It's not just translating, it's also got a little bit of rotation there. Let's see. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, it's filling. Let's do a little bit of side to side on the head here as well. Let's see here. Might be a little too much. So definitely scale that back here. Let's see. Let's undo a little bit of that rotate so that we can try and keep that head first forward and not tilting so much. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of rotate Y. Maybe we'll add a little bit of rotate just to the hips as well. Have to be careful because we already have so much going in there. This might be too over the top, so I might have to either scale back what we had before or just get rid of that idea. I feel like the hips are kind of feel a little locked in place right now, especially compared to the bounciness that we have in the head and the chest. So let's go ahead and exaggerate the up and down on those hips. Let's see. It's like the ups are a little too high, so let's pull this back a little bit, and we'll just bring it down a little more. Let's see here. Try to find a good camera angle there. Pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and save our file here, and let's create a second camera because I feel like this camera works pretty well. We can get a good silhouette like that. So we get a good silhouette throughout, and I feel like we might tweak those arms though, especially if we're going with something like this. So we're going to create a camera here, and then we're going to switch to a panel, and we're going to look through camera 1 and use this for our animation camera, and that way we can pop back to our perspective camera and always have that as being the camera that we'll probably play blast out. Okay, so again, we're going to go back to camera 1 just so we can tweak around with this one. And a couple things. The feet feel like we could make them a bit heavier. And what we can do for that is take the translate Y's, and let's go ahead and even them out a little bit because there's some evenness to them. I want to scale them back a little bit, and also let's go ahead and delay them about 2 frames. So let's see. Oops, sell it there a little bit heavier. Now let's look at the rotation X, and there. Let's go balance out the rotate X's on those feet as well. That's the drag back there. So again, we just kind of want to find a good medium. I feel like there might be a little too much drag on those. So let's go ahead and watch that and see how that feels for those feet. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this tail here. Just going to try something a little bit different here. I'm going to really break up this tail. We'll see if it ends up playing out well, or if we want to do it differently. I think it could be fun, since there's enough pieces to this tail. I think this approach might work, and then we'll have a couple like breaking of joints kind of movement going through it. I think we did it too fast. We wanted to do every 12 frames in between, not 6 frames. So that's why I was doing that. So let's extend that. Extend that. Okay, sorry about that. Now let's go ahead and look at that now. It just might be too much, so I'll just scale it back. Let's see here. Alright, it's starting to work. Now let's go down to this one, and this one will go back to 6s. And we'll scale it here. Starting on 6, not on 6s, it's on 12s. And back there. Let's go more. Let's get from this way. Let's just break it into, break it up differently. Okay, so we're going to delete that. So we'll do the first two, and we'll treat them like as extensions on the back. So just tilt them that way, tilt it that way. This one, 3. Break it up here. So let's see. Let's even it up a little bit more. Let's see. And we'll go back and do these two. And rotate those this way. And that way. This way. That way. Let's see. Other way around. I was thinking it was the other way around. Just add a sense of drag to that tail. Let's go delay that on the frame. Go ahead and delay that on the frame. Let's scale this back a little bit. And let's amp this one up a little more. So let's see. Let's do a little bit of, let's go and save this here. Let's do a little bit up and down on the tail here too. So grab here, down, and then up, down, up, down, down. Let's see. Let's even that out a little bit more. Can we go here to 3? Let's see. Okay, and then let's look at the last 2 ringlets of that tail. Let's do a little bit down, up on those as well. Down, up, down, and that kind of whipping tail. It's more lizard-like than dinosaur, but it's okay. Let's see here. just scale this all back. It's just not as pretty as it was before. And all we were trying to do is augment it a little bit. So I still think I want a little bit of that in there. But I think we just did too much and it's just going to be too busy. Let's switch back to our I think we just take everything and kind of scale it back a little bit. Let's try just a little bit. Okay, and let's go ahead and make sure that we kind of got a good balance here throughout the tail after rescaling it. So we're not favoring one side over the other. And how you scale, if you didn't catch that, just select everything, hit R on the keyboard, and then you can just scale it in a little bit. And just want to make sure that we got still even on both sides here. A little bit of whip in that tail. Bounce in the head. And let's go back to our other camera. And that's the nice thing about having two cameras is that you can kind of play to your camera that you're going to be going with. And I think I'm going to just drag these arms instead. I think the other idea just doesn't really help the silhouette as much. So we're just going to... make sure we grab the right thing. Zero that, zero that. Zero that. And for some reason we weren't on the right frame, so we'll go back and we'll just drag that middle mouse button and hit S on our keyboard. So we know we're on the right frame. Let's go ahead and drag these little hands down. So we're just gonna place our 0 there. Let's delete that. Okay, just do this one then. Lift it up and back. So let's go ahead and look that. Thing with this is it's already dragging through the ground, so I gotta be careful here. It's just too much stretch out. So we're just intersecting the ground there, so we gotta be aware of that. Even though that might be kind of loamy. Maybe we can curl the fingers up instead. Let's see. Finger 1, finger 2. There we go. So we just give it a little bit of bounce there. Let's see here. Let's definitely pull these in more. Even that out a little more. So let's go and watch that now. Maybe more on the arm and a little less on the forearm. So I feel like it's right in where we want it, just gotta tweak it to be a little bit better. And maybe we can delay this frame as well. Just so it's not hitting at the same time. Let's actually go back to let's do this 1-3, so let's try back. Just want the hand to feel looser. It feels a little stiff. It's a little better. And then let's look at the fingers here. Scratch in, spread them out, scratch them in, spread them out, scratch them in, spread them out. And then we'll vary the fingers as well. Also, just drag them a little bit more. You can go too much lower than that, though it will be intersecting the ground. Maybe not so high. Let's go tone that down a little bit more. The nice thing is once you get like one arm working, then you kind of have a good pattern for how you want to do that other arm. So that's what's now. We still have less forearm. Just a little less arm altogether. And then let's go ahead and take finger 1 and we'll push it forward a frame. And finger 2, we'll delay it a frame so I get like a 2-frame variation between there. Maybe. Just adding a little variety there so they're not hitting at the same time. In the same way. Just too much hand. That's wrong. Scale back a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it just feels like it's just too much on everything. Okay, so just scale everything back a little more. Just a little bit on everything. I just feel like the movement's right, it's just too much of it. It's causing your eye to drift there. That's better. Yeah, go ahead and save this and let's go ahead and look at the other arm here. So it should be like I said, it's nice once you get to get a basic movement on everything and then start locking down stuff and get one leg really working, and then once you have that you can tweak up the other leg really a lot. And same with arms and stuff, and that's what's nice about arms and legs, is you can really like build the movement into one, and then you have a good template for the other side here. Let's go get into those fingers there. And you turn the fingers on the other side here. And get this on sixes, right? Why do these fingers feel weird? I think it's because the rotation's kind of funky in here. It's a little better. Okay. Those fingers. Crank them up a little bit more. And stretch them out a bit. And stretch them out a bit. Put them in. Out. Put them in. Stretch. I want to go ahead and grab finger one, push it forward, finger two, pull it back. Okay, and let's get into these toes here. Let's grab the outer toe and we'll delay it a frame. Grab the inner toe, we'll push it forward a frame. Grab the middle toe and delay it 2 frames. So it to be like a 1, 2, 3, so that foot hits the toe, toe. Okay, I need the middle toe to be one more forward then. 1, 2, 3. And let's look at that do crawl, and let's do that on let's get 6. Take that 2 claw, pull it in. 12, pull it out. 15, oh, sorry. Again, go to pull it in, then go to 36, we'll pull it out, and what's that here? 9, we'll zero it again. Just so it's a little bit different movement from the other toes there. I think I'm going to put in another key here so that it doesn't just completely lock off. So it does a little bit of an overshoot and recoil back. Yeah, that's pretty good. Just want to keep that into a little bit there. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at this other foot here. Let's take the inner toe and forward frame, outer toe, we'll delay it a frame, and middle toe, we'll delay it 2 frames. Okay, maybe as much. So it has toe, outer toe, middle toe. It's inner toe, outer toe, middle toe. That middle toe feels like it's just too much punched up. Much drag on it as well. And we're just getting intersection there. Okay, and let's look at that deer claw here. I'm going to key that. And then 18, we'll go ahead and pull it in. 24, pull it out. 27. Why is this one acting funky? Overshoot a little. Pull it in. Pull it out a little bit. Alright, it's feeling pretty good. Let's go ahead and save our file again. And let's turn our nerve curves off. Switch our perspective window back to where we had our original camera. And let's go ahead and watch that and see if there's anything else that we really want to get into and tweak right away. That arm. It's intersecting with the ground. Well, it's not, but at least at this angle it doesn't give us a good silhouette. Okay, so now it's perspective. Go back to camera 1, and we're going to show our nerve curves again. And here. Crank up both of those fingers. just so it doesn't feel like they're hitting everything at the same time. And then somewhere here, that finger one, I think it is. Just so it doesn't feel like they're hitting at the same time. Okay, yeah, let's turn our curves off and let's go look at that. Step back and let's readjust the timing. Gotta tweak that pose up a little bit more. Do it from this one. A little bit more. It's kind of intersecting with the foot, and it makes it look like it's grabbing the foot from that camera angle that we're using. We'll do it with both arms. See, like right there, it's not a very good silhouette. So let's go back. Just take them, rotate wise, and just kick them up a little bit higher. Just raise those arms a little bit more. Same with the other side. Let's go ahead and raise it up a little bit. And through our perspective again, we will just tilt it just a little bit as well. Keep it a better silhouette there between those feet and the palm. And let's turn our nerve curves off and let's go and play that a couple times. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Alright, so let's take a look back at where we started today. We're looking at Tim Robinson and his amazing art. Definitely check out his Tumblr. I'm really liking this guy. Like you said, it's just somebody that I stumbled across in the last couple of days, but some great stuff, some really phenomenal stuff. And fell off the wagon a bit there, but I'm back. Great positive attitude to have, and a great just keep it going. Even when you stumble, even when you trip, get back on the horse. Don't give up. So that being said, thanks again for watching, everyone. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. You guys are awesome. You're so creative. You have so much imagination and so much potential. I believe in you. Keep doing it every day. And that being said, we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.